Good evening, everybody. This is Bronson. That's me. This is my By Any Means Necessary fantasy football or fantasy sports or whatever the hell I want it to be talk for today. It's going to be fairly short. I'm a little tired. I probably need to head to bed. But I did want to talk about a few things. CJ Uzomah yesterday in the Thursday night football game. Are we sure that wasn't Travis Kelce in disguise? It sure looked like Travis Kelce. What a monster game he had. And for the I was doing a little bit of digging, and he's owned by less than 1% of fantasy football players on ESPN. So those 0.7% of people who own him are obviously time travelers, and they can predict the future for me, which I don't really want to know my future. I like surprises. I like I like surprises, for like gifts. I like surprises when it comes to comedy. I always laugh at the things that I don't see, the jokes I don't see coming. So I don't want to know what my future holds. I think that would kind of ruin everything. I certainly don't want to know when I die or anything. But there are two things that I want to know from these time travelers. What stocks should I buy today that are going to boom for me in the next 1 to 2 years and make me rich? And secondly, I want to know where my soulmate, my partner is, because I'm getting really impatient in that department. So those are the two things that I would like the time travelers who own CJ Uzomah in fantasy football to tell me. They can keep the rest of my life a secret. The journey is excuse me. The journey is the part that I will continue to enjoy, especially now that I'm kind of in this positive mindset kind of thing. I just got a trade offer in fantasy football. I should probably check that out, because I remember I got one. Someone sent me one earlier this morning that I completely forgot about until just now. I should probably go check those out when I'm done with this video. Ryan Tannehill. I know that in my Spikes and Yikes quarterbacks video I said to start Ryan Tannehill, but that's looking like a bad call now with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones out. I don't think he's going to have the greatest day. It's going to be a very heavy. Derrick Henry's going to get 60 carries for 565 yards and 8 touchdowns. So it's going to be a big Derrick Henry week, not a big Ryan Tannehill week. And the problem with that is goes hand in hand with Thursday Night Football, which Thursday Night Football overall was actually a pretty good day for me. I had Mixon, I had Robinson. I had the Bengals defense, which I think was okay. I had Marvin Jones, not so great. I had Jamar Chase, which I don't recall Jamar Chase doing much either. So I guess it's kind of hit or miss, but I'm happy the running backs, Robinson and Mixon, guys I haven't really been able to trust, did score well for me. But the problem with that was I also started Joe Burrow, which turned out okay. But I started Burrow because I was worried about Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson was looking kind of questionable, really questionable, and I didn't want to risk it, and because I don't want to drop Joe Burrow, and I don't want to pick up a third quarterback, right? So it's like I either had to start Joe Burrow yesterday or wait out Lamar Jackson, who may end up not playing, and then I'd be screwed. I would have to pick up third quarterback, right? So I just went with Burrow, and hopefully that works out for me. We'll see what Lamar does on Sunday. We'll see how the matchups end up. Also, though, I in another league, I didn't go with Joe Burrow, and now I'm stuck with Ryan Tannehill because yesterday I thought Ryan Tannehill would still be a very viable starter. That was when A.J. Brown was questionable. Julio was questionable. I had no idea Julio was that injured, though. I didn't really realize he was a threat to miss this week's game. But yeah, now with both of them out, I'm stuck with Tannehill for the week. So hopefully it doesn't hurt me. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll find out in a couple of days. Oh, I wanted to quickly talk, kind of brag, I guess, a little bit about my fantasy baseball stuff. I haven't really been talking much fantasy baseball lately because the playoffs. I mean, you kind of know if you got to the playoffs, you don't really need my help much, right? But plus, we know we're very limited in what we can do with our streaming options during the playoffs. Anyways, most of us are, probably if we're smart, anyways, we're prolonging that as late into the second week as we can because we want to have as many starts this weekend as we could possibly get, right? But I took 15. I had 24 teams overall. I took 15 to the finals, which is a pretty good ratio, and most of them are looking really good to win. I mean, there's only 2 days left. We'll find out. But I've been pretty much out front of most of my matchups for the entire 2 weeks, and I'm keeping my my starting pitching numbers low enough that tomorrow and Sunday I could just go for broke, zero blitz, as they say in football terminology. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty successful fantasy baseball season. Unfortunately, my money league, I finished 10th out of 12th. I had a lot of injury problems all year long, and it never really got better. And then I banked on and the Trevor Bauer thing. I lost Bauer for the last 2 months of my season, and then Christian Yelich did not even come close to meeting the production that I thought he was going to have, and that was my first round pick. Yelich was my first round pick. Bauer was my second round pick. So on top of the injuries, it just wasn't my year. But yeah, so I'll be back for revenge next year. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I finally went back to the movies, and it's been a long time since I went to the movies on opening night, but it was actually a pretty empty theater, so I picked a good time slot. I think I went and watched The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel. It was all right. Kind of predictable, and I don't really think that. I mean, it was cool that they got James Gandolfini's son to play young Tony Soprano. That was pretty cool, but he's not a very good actor. I don't want to diss on the kid too much. He's not. I don't even think he's a kid. I think he's a dude in his 20s. But yeah, not a very good actor. But yeah, I like the story. It kind of makes me want to go watch The Sopranos all the way through, because I didn't really do that. Sopranos, I was a little young. I think it was in The Sopranos was on when I was in high school and stuff, and I didn't. So I mean, I watched quite a few episodes, but I haven't seen the entire thing through. So I think I kind of want to go and watch all 6 seasons now. I wish HBO would put their stuff on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. The streaming services that I have, I don't want to have to go pay for HBO Max or HBO to watch these things. The same thing applies like Game of Thrones or Hard Knocks, the football stuff. I'd like to be able to watch those too. Hard Knocks, for whatever reason, I've never seen it available in a store or anything my whole life. Hard Knocks they've never sold seasons. HBO does that with their other shows like Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Oz, Westworld. All that stuff's available by seasons on DVD and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, Hard Knocks never has been. I don't understand it, but I recommend Many Saints of Newark, especially for people who are a Sopranos fan. And yeah, I mean it's made by the same people who created The Sopranos in the first place. So it's the guy's vision for how character development of him. So cool. It was alright though. So, but I'm approaching 10 minutes now. This has actually been longer than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah. So don't start Ryan Tannehill. Hopefully you have another option. And yeah, good luck. Peace, love, and nacho fries, friends.